Ho, ho, ho.
Nice cannonball, Santa. Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing, unless it's the reindeer. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo. It's undecided if he's on the naughty or nice list. Edgar De Jesus and his co-host, the fastest netter in the West, JJ Flawless and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Pool Nation Live podcast with myself, your host, Edgar De Jesus. And yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John, JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. This week, guys, we're talking to Dennis Cecil from Jandy. We're going to do a little bit of the Pool Geek talk, guys. And we also want to talk about Jandy's loyalty reward program, especially now that we're at the end of the year. We want everybody to get some details and get set up on that account. So I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting and splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our sponsors for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools and Pool Invoice. We want to thank them for their continued support. Zach, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everyone had a good week.
John, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Edgar. Seriously looking forward to this podcast, talking to Dennis. We say it a lot as far as like when it comes down to, starting up as a newcomer in the pool industry. And we have our big three manufacturers. And from past podcasts and us talking, me talking to everybody, I'm a little partial to Jandy. And I know that different parts of the world or different parts of the country, perception of a manufacturer differs. And I truly believe that you're only as good as the people you work for. And here in the Valley, we're lucky enough to have a great rep like Dennis, who's very responsive and who's helped us out from the very beginning. So to have him on and to kind of talk about the things that we get to benefit from as a company, and hopefully others who don't know about some of the rewards or benefits that Jandy has to offer and how great of a company and what they do for us. I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm super stoked that Dennis is on. Thank you very much for being here. And I'm looking forward to talking about all the good stuff that Jandy and Zodiac and Fluidja has to offer.
Dennis, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
No problem. We're really excited to have you on today. We want to thank you for coming on. Guys, before we get started, I want to take a quick minute to talk about the Pool Girl podcast that we did. John, Zach, that thing is going nuts. It's starting to become the fastest downloaded podcast we've done. And I have to say that I really enjoyed that podcast. I think it's really cool to be able to get other pool guys and pool girls' perspective out there and hear their stories. It's just kind of really fun.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think it's what makes us a little bit different. Anyone can get info on products, etc., but hearing real life stories, struggles, and success relates to everybody that's listening to our podcast or any of our platforms. At the end of the day, our goal is to make ourselves better, right? Our companies, our livelihoods, and the industry as a whole. Another thing we lack is consistency, guidelines, and structure. Everyone has an opinion, but who's to say who's right? And even worse, the majority of folks working in the industry only hear one opinion and roll with it without ever learning new ways or being exposed to evolved thinking. That's why I believe Poolman University is going to change the game. Our goal is to create an environment where you only need to go to one place to get all the information you could possibly want or need. Once you have that, what you do with it is up to you. How successful you want to be is up to you. The ball's in your court. No excuses. Go get it. Sorry for the little shameless plug on Poolman University there. But, I'm so stoked. And, we've got tons of DMs and messages and phone calls about it. And we're just at the beginning stages of it. And as it grows, I think it's going to be a platform, especially for the girls and the women out in the industry so that they have a voice. And I'm just super excited.
Yeah, I want to add to that. You talk about like being open-minded and not just taking one thing you hear and going with that. And I really enjoy having conversations with other pool pros and hearing all the different ways people run their businesses, the different challenges they encounter. For me, hearing all of those different perspectives has really helped us grow, the pool boys grow, because I'm able to take a piece from this conversation, a piece from that conversation, and put them together in some way to help us be better. Sometimes it's just as simple as someone telling a story and hearing their response to a customer's concern. And I'm able to use that in our own version to help us with our responses to our customers. Again, it seems like our industry is really opening up more. People are becoming more willing to share their perspectives and help each other out. And I really love that.
Yeah, I think what a lot of the guys like is you kind of hear 3 or 4 different stories and you're in a different scenario in a different market. And what you really do is you're able to kind of take what you hear from 2 or 3 different people and kind of piece together what's going to work for you. And I think that's kind of really exciting. I also want to talk about the focus that we said that we wanted to do as Pool Nation guys, and that is trying to help the pool girls in our industry. So I reached out to Kelly, and I know I'm going to chop up her last name here, Carrillo, from the Pool Girl Training. And I'm going to tell you that, guys, that we need to have this girl on. This girl is a complete go-getter. She's the president of her IPSA chapter, and she is just a full-blown go-getter. They're going to do a training on January 21st with Davis, and here I'm going to chop up another last name, Hawes, I believe, and it covers the business side of the industry. So for all you pool girls out there that might be interested, go to her Instagram page and look up Pool Girl Training, and you guys can message Kelly there, and she'll kind of get you the details and what time it's going to be. We'll keep announcing that, and we'll post it on the Poolman University so that you guys know where to be able to sign up. The other thing that I want to do that was very exciting, guys, is I reached out yesterday to a new Pool Girl Jules, and she started with the Pool People, and she's got some extensive background in the pool industry. So I was chatting with her yesterday on Instagram and welcoming her to the industry. And so, Jules, I told you I'd give you a shout out. So here is your shout out, because as we always say here, the pool girls rule.
Yeah, Edgar, can we take a minute to talk about that? I'm stoked to get this thing going. I preached about it on our last podcast with the ladies, and I'm going to say it again. One thing this industry needs is more women. We must find a way to become more inclusive instead of exclusive. We need to foster an environment that attracts women into our industry, not repel them. So being part of anything that helps us get there is one step closer in the right direction, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think you nailed it there. We're talking about all this education and all this inclusiveness. And the other thing, I want to kind of go back to Poolman University, because I've been thinking about this a lot. And if you really sit down and think about Poolman University and what it could really be for everyone in the industry, it's amazing. But it's going to take an industry effort to build it and bring on all the different informational pieces. And I think that's what I'm so excited about, is anyone can contribute. Edgar, on the live Wednesday, something I took note of is someone put a comment about knowing margin versus markup, and that's huge. And that comment reminded me about a video I've watched tons of times and really helped me figure out where our pricing needs to be in order to survive as a company. And to be 100% honest, I still watch that video from time to time as a refresher. So I'll be sharing that video on Poolman University, and I would love to hear if anyone watches it, if it helped them like it did me. But bringing it full circle, I love all this talk about inclusiveness and education and where it's really headed.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, guys. And I even got phone calls from guys, and they were like, hey, can I give you some feedback? And I'm thinking, great. Okay, well, let's get the feedback and we'll build on that feedback. And as I jump with them on the phone, they're like, oh my God, this is so great. And we needed this. And this is, something that's going to change the industry. And so we're really excited. And we already have a couple more things that are coming. So
more things. This is like the tip of the iceberg, right? This is like a pebble, right? Or a grain of sand at the beach. This is like literally, it's nothing compared to what it's going to be, in the future. So I think you're being pretty modest there, Edgar.
You know what it is, John? It was our conversation the other day where I'm so excited and ready to go in all these different directions. And it's like, okay, let's just kind of slow it down a little bit. Let's just make sure that we kind of plan and that we make sure that that's the right fit for it and stuff like that. Because if it was up to me, I'd just completely run with the scissors on this, because it's going to be awesome. Dennis, we have been sitting here chit-chatting for 10 minutes, and poor Dennis is just sitting there probably going, okay, you guys are going to shut up and let me start talking. So Dennis, I want to
playing Space Invaders on my phone. We're good.
Perfect.
So we want to welcome you to the podcast and thank you for joining us. And John, Zach, and I were talking, And boy, do we have a lot of questions for you. But before we get started, what I want to do is tell our listeners out there a little bit about Dennis and how you got started in the industry and your journey with Jandy.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thanks again for having me on. Definitely appreciate this opportunity to hang with you guys today. Definitely like seeing different platforms where people can get educated, kind of learn how to advance their businesses in the industry. But kind of funny how I got in here. My uncle is a pool guy. He's been a plumber for many years. My dad actually was in the business a little bit, but I never even thought about the pool industry. Grew up with a swimming pool, but I was with Coca-Cola for 18 years prior to jumping over to Jandy. But I had one of those golden opportunities. Coca-Cola was a family owned, was selling to or transitioning over to a corporate Coca-Cola. So I really wanted change. I was starting to get a little bit older, and I figured if I made the move, this was the time to do it. So by taking this golden opportunity, I was quitting my job. I came home, told my wife, 3 kids at home, saying, "Hey, honey, I'm going to quit my job." She goes, "You're what?" And that was the only source of income. And she goes, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "I have no idea." I go, "I just want change. I just want something different." It was like July of 2013 was my last day. And as I was walking out the door, one of the guys that I mentored at Coca-Cola or worked with, and he said, "Hey, have you ever thought about the pool industry? I'm going back into it." And I said, "Huh." I go, "That sounds pretty interesting." So he goes, "Hey, there's this company." He was naming off the different companies, and I was like, "Jandy, what the heck's Jandy?" Never even heard of different manufacturers or didn't really even know what it was. So one of my best friends up in Sacramento, I kind of told him, "Hey, I'm going to check out the pool industry." He says, "Hey, I'm real good buddies. I actually work for Jandy, and I'm real good buddies with one of the regionals." And he kind of introduced me, and he goes, "Well, I have a position because I'm from Northern California." He goes, "I have a position down in SoCal," and he goes, "If you're interested, we'll give you a chance." And I said, "Well, I left Coca-Cola because I wanted change, so I was totally open for moving." So Jandy gave me the opportunity, and I had no idea other than pump, filter, heater. I knew nothing else about the pool industry because I remember people were talking about JVAs, and I'm like, "What the heck's a JVA?" I'm like Googling things. So I've come a long ways knowing zero, and I've now been with the company for 7 years. And I got to say, for this move and this change in my life, it's been the best thing for my family, for me personally, and this is just an A plus outstanding company to be with.
That is awesome. And guys, Dennis really is one of those reps that if he's in your area, you better communicate because he's definitely one of the good guys out there that gets back to everybody and kind of really into what he's doing. So Dennis, we want to do some Pool Geek talk here soon. I think there's some pumps and some fun stuff that we want to talk about, but we want to talk first about your loyalty or your reward program, because I think it's really important this time of the year for everybody to get familiar with it, everybody sign up and start, because I think in January, the new program starts. So let's talk a little bit about that. And maybe what we can do is start a little bit with the cash rebate details.
Yeah, we do have 3 different programs out there. Well, we started back in 2015. We came up with, we're going to talk about the Service Pro program. It's a cash rebate program that's downloaded on a Visa check card, and it comes with extended warranties, etc.
Awesome. So as far as like the tiers, I know there's some tiers for the rebate program, but can you tell us the amounts, the percentages of the rebate we get back, or can you kind of give us like a general idea of what someone will have to look for, or how much money they're going to get on their prepaid card or on their Visa card, throughout the year?
Yeah, John, we have multiple achiever levels. Our achiever levels start at $15K and anything purchased in Fluidra, Jandy, Polaris, Zodiac products. And you start with a 3% rebate. And we continue to grow with companies and customers as they increase their spend or their purchases with us.
And yeah, what's kind of cool about it, and I kind of want to touch on that, you guys make it attainable for everybody. And people go, okay, $15,000, but hey, When we're putting in pumps that are like $1,000 or, people got heaters or just small parts, right? In valves and cartridges and filters and all that, that adds up quickly. So for even the smallest guy, you guys have rewards available for it. And then you reward as people grow, right? So as they grow, they get more money. And then it goes up to the percentages move up. I think it goes up to 5%. So as a company or as somebody starting out, don't go, hey, look, I'm too small to think about this. But if you go at the end of the year, especially your first year or your second year, and you guys start tallying up what you're using, you'll come to find out that you're using a lot of Jandy products that you might not know. And it includes like cleaners and, vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. It adds up. So to hit that $15,000 tier is pretty easy. And then as you grow, Jandy grows with you and rewards you for it. So I just kind of wanted to jump in and talk about that.
Does that, John, does that include the like the Jandy valves too?
Everything, Jandy,
everything,
right?
God, that's
everything,
big.
Jandy,
the actuators,
right? So all that
kind of things that you don't think about.
Yes, every little small part, every cleaner, with us, it's huge. We got so many cleaners in our pools. We made a decision. I've talked about this to where once we hit this was a couple years ago, we were at like 50 pools and I made a decision. I said, hey, look, every single one of my pools, I'm going to have a cleaner in moving forward. And I went back to the last 50 pools that I had and I said, hey, look, I'm going to try to sell them a cleaner and I'm going to sell to them at cost. I'm not trying to get rich off of it. I'm thinking time is money, right? And the less amount of time I spend there doing grunt work like vacuuming or, raking up leaves and stuff like that, the more clients I'm going to be able to add onto my schedule. So I went back and we sold quite a few of them to our prior customers, but the ones that didn't want them or didn't want to spend them, we made a decision and we bought company cleaners and we own literally 50 cleaners that we purchased as a company and we put them in all our pools. And now moving forward, every single pool that we pick up or every account we pick up, one of the requirements, if they don't want a cleaner in the pool, then we won't take the account. And as far as it comes down to like those things, you're talking about $260, $300 or whatever it is for the cost of it, it really adds up. And then at the end of the year, Jandy takes care of you and pays you back for it. So yeah, every little part counts.
Yeah, no, you bring up a good point, John. And, I always stress to folks that when they look at that 15K getting in or activated for the rewards, I mean, that could be as easy as 7 heaters. That could be easy as 10 of our IQ20 RS upgrades along with a heater and a couple pumps. When you're out there buying those cleaners, stress to guys, if you buy a Fluidra screw for a cleaner, it's going towards your rebates along with flapper kits. It adds up very quick and very fast. And a lot of guys don't realize that they're probably already there and don't even know it.
And let's break it down too to see what it looks like as far as money back in your pockets. Because let's say you spend $15,000 in a year, and as you all mentioned, equipment, it's not so cheap anymore, and it adds up really quickly. So if you spent $15,000 and let's just put a number on there and you get 3% back, that's $450 back at the end of the year. And for someone that spends $30,000, that's $900 back. And that's everything, guys. And, so out of curiosity, I looked over our purchases so far this year and we bought over 20 air blowers, over 30 check valve internals, and over 15 iAqualink upgrade kits. And that's all parts that you don't think about. But when you look back, you're like, dang, I didn't even realize we bought that stuff. Because we always think about how many VS pumps or how many heaters and so on that we sell, but parts can add up in a big way.
Oh, before you look,
I'm gonna sit, John. I'm gonna sit here and
So my thing is this, and this is Zach, who's a Pentair guy, right?
Here's our numbers guy.
Right.
I'm sure after the 3%, he probably didn't hear anything but just kind of running numbers in his head.
Right. So, I mean, and I'm going back and I'm thinking, well, look, I mean, Zach, Pool Boys, everybody has their kind of manufacturer that they kind of stick with. And Dennis, I'm telling you, you got to get with Zach, right? And we gotta get him to jump on the Fluidra train. Okay. So after this podcast, you got to talk to him.
Oh, guys, I'm like a dog on a bone. I'm going to be all after him. And Zach's like a perfect story that happens with all of us reps. We see it day in and day out when guys jump on this rewards programs, and guys like Zach that's doing a handful of pumps. He may have a different manufacturer of choice right now, but once he sees the value, which we're going to dive into it here in a little bit, but once he sees the value of our program, he's like, man, this is good stuff.
Yeah, and it falls back to kind of what I talked about at the beginning. It all comes down to your rep, right? So 95% of how you perceive a company depends on the person that's representing it. I was looking at a contact here, and I'm just going to be honest. One of the guys on the chat right here said, "Hey, I can't get my Jandy rep to answer the phone." With me, it's a completely different experience, right? Or I can't get anybody else to answer the phone. But when I call you, Dennis, or when I text you, I get a response back. When I call Fidel or when I send him a text, I get a response back. And it's how can we shift that so that we have that equal amount of that type of talent or that type of drive to help out the pool guy and pool girl across the country, so it's more level or more even. So Jack and I have talked about it many, many times. And it's just like, well, Pantera was there and they were there for me from the very beginning, and they've done great for the pool boys, right? When you might talk to somebody else out in the East Coast and they'll say, Hayward has just been there for us from the beginning and no one else has. Jandy never called, or Pantera doesn't give me the time of day, and then you talk to another guy next door. Even I don't know what the secret sauce is really, as far as why one rep might want to call someone or not, or why one feels like they have to, but we got to figure out a way as an industry so that we're more responsive to all the pool guys and pool girls out there. Because like you and I were talking on the phone and we're saying is, look, you cannot be penny wise and dollar foolish, right? You got to plant these seeds, all these pool guys and pool girls. And this is to all the manufacturers out there, anybody that's listening to this. Yeah, the big builders are one thing, and yeah, they might be doing a lot of business for a lot of money, but they are a lot of headaches too. And those builders all started from somewhere, right? And the people that are important and the people that keep the wheels turning in this industry are the one polars, the two polars, the one truck, the two truck, and the small businesses that are out there running it. And if you water those seeds and you help mentor, you help that company when they first start out, trust me, loyalty is huge, right? And they turn into those bigger buyers or those bigger builders down the road. So I don't mean to get on a rant right there, but that's just my pet peeve. And that's just like, it's weird. I have an experience with you and it's amazing. And even prior to you, it was Dave O and it was fabulous, right? And the guy down the street or the next city over that has a different rep has a completely different experience with it. And I just don't quite know what it is. And I'm not saying you have that answer to that, but it's something that hopefully Floridra or Pantera or Hayward can take to heart and do something about it. So.
Good point, John. For the guys out there, if they're struggling getting hold of a rep or whatever, because there's usually one of us, and we have multiple territories. Some of the guys throughout the U.S. have multiple states. I'm fortunate, being in the Coachella Valley, I have a pretty tight little niche because it is so busy out there. But for guys out there, if you're trying to get a hold of the reps, at least with us, always check with your distributors. All distributors usually always have our point of contact. You can also, guys can call into our tech support number, 1-800-822-7933. Just kind of follow the prompts. If you get a hold of tech support, they can guide you to the rep in your area. And you can also get into our Floridra reward site and go in there and check in, maybe try, if you don't have an account, try to create an account. But you can get in there, and we actually have adopted maybe about a year ago where we get a lead report. So when you guys come in and may ask questions going through our Floridra reward site, it kind of comes back to us as reps going, hey, this guy had a question about Floridra Academy or rewards programs. So we kind of get those messages. So we have a few different platforms. If a guy really needs to try to get a hold of us and struggling, contact distribution, call our tech support, go to FloridraRewards.com, and you can inquire there as well.
That's cool. I did not know about that. So it kind of I mean to kind of get us off subject there and go on a little rant, but going back to when we were talking about the rewards, I just want to verify or clarify. So for instance, you have the 3% or whatever percentages that you guys offer based off your tiers. As you grow in tiers, so for let's say the first $15,000, you're at 3%. And then let's just say the next one is at like $25,000, $30,000 for the next tier or whatever. And you move up to 4%. Do you get back that money on the first 15,000? Do you get that extra 1% back?
Yeah. So let me go over a little bit. Very excited. We have a lot of cool things part of this program. But on getting into the nuts and bolts, a little bit of this program. So on the achiever levels, when you obtain, so say like you were talking, hey, you have that 30% achiever level, you hit 15K, and then say you hit that next achiever level and you get an additional 1%. So hypothetically, the first 5 months in the year, you hit the first achiever level. This by December 1st, you get into our next achiever level. We will go back and credit you that 1% that you just grew from day one of the new year. We also have part of this program. We also have extended warranties on parts and whole goods. We have marketing rewards and credits that get uploaded annually. So you get reset basically every year as you continue with us. We give you access to our business symposium. And what we've done it a couple of years now. COVID's kind of threw us off track a little bit, but I'm sure we'll get back going. But we offer a business symposium. And what it is we allow pool professionals to come in and we kind of set up like a business solutions. We're not there to pitch our products. It's more of, hey, how to better operate your business. How do you set up for retirement? Maybe help guide guys for an exit plan when you're ready to retire. So we give you guys access to our business symposium. We also offer a 1-year free trial of our Ion Pool Care, which that is a route management system that syncs up with QuickBooks. So you guys can get reports. You can upload all your routes. If you have multiple guys, we can do billing. You can take pictures of each backyard and add it to the account. You can flip guys' emails when you guys are done saying, hey, Mr. Homeowner, I was here. So we give a 1-year free trial to see if you guys like it. After that, I believe it's, don't quote me 100%, but I believe it's like $39.99 a month. And each additional user is $9.99 to have the mobile app features. Here's a key one. We have a priority tech support line.
Yes.
I wish.
Wait. Can you repeat that?
We have a priority tech support extension. I will not say this on the air. You must get with your local rep to jump on this program to have that hot number into tech support.
So if they're part of the reward program.
Yeah, if you're part of the reward program, we will that secret 4-digit number.
Oh man, you know what? That right there is golden. Everybody sign up.
It is, right?
Just that right there.
And then we also have a lot of guys don't take advantage of this, but want to stress we have a bulk purchase program that you guys can do through your distribution. And that's all on parts, not whole goods, unfortunately. A lot of guys try to sneak in whole goods on us, but this is
50 heaters.
Zach's head was probably doing numbers right now, kind of going, wait.
I think John did try to slip in a couple whole goods on us.
Why am I not surprised at all?
But it's a great way to load up in season and get 20% off. And this is what we call when you take a part of this bulk buy program. So you're getting that extra savings through distribution on our parts to stock up. And then we call it double dipping. This goes towards your yearly purchases. So you get a strong discount and it goes to year-end purchases.
Yeah, and the discount is on the your wholesale price that you get at your distributor already. So it's a killer deal, especially because valves aren't cheap, actuators aren't cheap, stuff like that. They cost money. Hoses, God.
So what else? I mention it out there because we have a lot of guys that are new pool guys out there, but obviously, so the Jandy valves would fall in there, right? Or no, the 3-way Jandy valves.
I don't believe. I'm not 100% on the valves. I know actuators are on there.
So actuators are on there. That's huge.
Flapper kits, temp sensors, kind of your core items. Kind of one of the gray areas are IQ20 RSs. As part of that. And another big one is, at least as big over here in Southern California, is our Nature 2 cartridges, which sometimes is very hard to get, but getting a discount on our Nature 2 cartridges to give to your homeowners works well, at least out in the SoCal area.
And we're talking all parts for like heaters, right? So if you buy temp sensors or igniters or
Condition control
boards.
Yeah.
That's all 20% off?
Yes.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask, I've heard of counter cash rebates. What are those?
So we've had a couple. I don't think we've really ever called them counter cash, but we've had some promotions. We don't do them or haven't done them too often, where we've done some rebates on VS pumps. I think we've done a couple of heater things. But for those guys out there, if you happen to see one of those deals, I would jump on it, because it's not something that we always throw out there at distribution. We're kind of leveraging, or we're kind of moving over to something called My Perks. And My Perks is, if you have an account with us, you can kind of log in, create a My Perks account, and we kind of have promos in there for you guys that's set up for your guys' individual accounts. So that's something new that we started last year, and it is taking off once guys get the hang of it and kind of see those additional savings. The cool thing about it is, if you're on our Service Pro program and you go in, so say for instance, and I'm just using a quick example, guys, say we have a VS pump promo in there and you get $50 off on the pump, you go in and get $50 back. Well, what we'll do is, if you have our Visa check card and you go in and do your purchases, we'll go back in and just automatically upload your Visa check card with those special promotions.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool too. And I think it's tailored to individual needs, right? So it's not just like one program for kind of everybody. So you take into consideration, there's a smaller company that might not go through 100 pumps or 50 pumps or 25 pumps in a year, right? So you tailor it so that it's more achievable for a certain client or for a certain company based off of their sales, so that they still get to participate in it, opposed to saying, hey, oh yeah, sell 100 pumps this year and we'll start giving you rebates. And you got guys like us that are going, we're not selling 100 pumps a year. There's no way we're going to sell 100 pumps a year.
Yeah,
you kind of tailor it based off of their sales and where their growth is. Correct?
Absolutely, John. So some of the other benefits, I haven't even got through all of our cool stuff, part of this program. But we also have our Fluidra Academy. We have discounts for our Fluidra Academy when it comes to town. Due to COVID this year, we haven't been able to get out there and have in-person classes. Hopefully, we can get through this COVID and we can get back out there. But if you go to fluidraacademy.com and you're part of this program, we give some nice discounts to get you guys into the class. We also have a little bonus in there, spin and win. We have like a spin to win wheel, where as you grow with us and you hit certain dollar amounts, you can go in there and win cash and prizes. And you can also get truck raffles. Part of this program, we've given out a truck every year to somebody since we've started this. So, which is pretty cool, pretty exciting to see. I think we did have a guy out in Texas, I think a guy out in Arizona, guy out in Florida, who's won a truck because of this program.
I want to touch on that. So even if you don't hit $15,000, even if you're below that mark through the year, you can still do the spin to win. And when you hit it, it's not just you get your truck raffle, but you'll also get I think I've seen before, heaters, marketing cash, gift cards, shirts, and it's just a little wheel that spins around, and then you get it and you win. And then for every certain dollar amount, you get to go back in there and do another spin. It's just another great little perk. And it's what I used my first year, because, we definitely didn't do a lot of money, but, we won some cool stuff using the spin to win.
Yeah, John, I have a good time sitting down with guys, and they kind of forgot this little bonus that we have. And I'm like, hey, I've noticed you haven't done any of your spins yet. And they're like, really? And I get them, we sit down and we go through, and they're sitting there clicking, spin the wheel. I've seen guys win IQ 20 RSs, $100, uploaded on their card, 4-pack of valves. It's pretty cool. I believe a desert customer hit $1,000. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting to sit down with you guys and actually be a part of when you guys are spinning those wheels and winning those prizes.
That's some good stuff right there. So Dennis, let's talk a little bit about the extended warranty. And I know John talked about it on our last podcast, but I already hear a couple of things that I like, especially with that phone number for that special call-in line. But let's talk about the warranty for those members.
Yeah. So what it is for the servicers, you get a 2-year warranty on all of our parts and parts and whole goods on a single item. So you can get, and I always use this, you can buy that flapper kit, 2-year warranty on that flapper kit. I think another big one out there is a temp sensor. Get a 2-year warranty on the temp sensor. We do have 3 items that do have a standalone warranty, which is any of our variable speed pumps. Each our True Clear and our AccuPure salt systems complete come with a 3-year, and our HydroCool Nitrous lights also come with a 3-year. Outside of that, if you guys get that opportunity to replace some equipment on the pad, 3 items or more on that pad, you can now offer your homeowner a 3-year warranty. So say, for instance, even though, say, that VS pump already comes with that standalone 3-year, and you do a salt system with it, that comes with a standalone 3-year, but you have to drop in a filter along with that 3 bundle package. That filter now has a 3-year warranty. You drop in the heater with that. Now that heater has a 3-year warranty. So it's automation, anything on the pad, 3 items or more, you get a 3-year warranty on it.
Now, let me ask you this. So if you sign up for this loyalty rewards program, once you sign up, that's automatically there. You get that.
Yes, that is correct. And
that's huge.
And the other thing, this program has so much good stuff. And I forgot to tell you, you actually become on our dealer locator site. So that's big when a homeowner already currently has our equipment on the pad and there's something going on and they need to find out, they launch into our website and they go, man, I need to fix my pump. I'm having issues or whatever they may have. And they type in, they can go in there, find a dealer and type in their zip code. And if you're on our program, you'll pop in to our website and all your information so the homeowner can reach out to you and they know that you're coming with them with extended warranties and things like that. And you're a business partner of ours.
Let me say this. So John, especially a brand new pool guy that's just getting into the industry, doesn't have all that confidence built up yet. They sign up for this reward. That's a huge pitch for a customer.
Oh, it's huge.
It's a huge pitch.
I'm telling you, especially in this online world we live in, right? Where people go, I can go get this, or I can go buy that, or I get this, or I can get that. Well, if you buy from me, Mr. Customer, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, not only will you have a professional install it, right? But I'll also be able to back it with an additional year warranty, parts and labor, right? So it's a huge, absolutely huge selling point that you can have. And it's ammo that Jandy's put in your weapon so that you can combat these types of things. And we're not even getting into the one thing Jandy does, and we might touch on a little bit later, but as far as like trendsetters and the company that has like put their necks on the line as far as the service guys, when it comes down to quitting the internet. And for those of you that haven't heard it, where Jandy will not allow their products to be sold online. So the days of Amazon being able to go there and find a Jandy pump and people saying, I can find it online for this price or that price, doesn't happen. All of Jandy's products are trade grade. So to me,
it's been, and you guys know my thoughts on it, and it has been that, we talk all the time about an industry and inclusive and including everybody and all that kind of stuff. And I can tell you, I had one experience where I lost a customer, and this is why I love the fact that they quit the internet. I sold an iAqualink upgrade, and I think I quoted it back then. It was like $1,000. The part cost like $650 or whatever. The guy went online and found it for like 400 and something bucks. He thought I was ripping him off. So what happened to me? Boop, I got fired, right?
Yep.
But then then Jandy comes and does, you know what? We're quitting the business. And that to me is huge because you're basically putting your money where your mouth is.
Oh yeah.
And that to me single-handedly tells every pool guy out there in the industry, we care about you. We hear what you're saying, and we're actually going to have the you know what to do it. So John, like you say, I can go on a rant with that one because I'm so passionate about that one. And even with the other manufacturers not wanting to do that, but that's huge, guys, that you can actually have a product that you can sell, that you know you're never going to be in that situation, because being in that situation is not fun. It's not fun having to look at somebody in the face and having to explain to them why they can find it cheaper on the internet. And people will always tell you, oh, well, you can use this angle or you can use that angle. You know what? The person doesn't care what angle. All they care about is the fact that you quoted it for $1,000 and they can find the part for $450. There is no explaining. There is no, I'm a professional or I'm this or people don't care, Yeah. So that to me is huge. And John, now I went on the rant, but to me, the important thing, guys, about this extended warranty is that by just automatically signing up, and I'm thinking the new pool guy, you have this as a backup. And when you're talking to a customer and you're trying to gain that account, that's a huge talking point. I'm a member of Jandy and I can give you this extra warranty on all your parts that you have. That's huge. That to me is a big, huge selling point.
Absolutely.
We actually need to add that to our 7 points of selling, John.
For sure.
Dennis, I'm sorry, we kind of went off topic a little bit and kind of went on our own rants, but
no, keep going. I'm enjoying it. I like to stress we actually have labeling on our packages if something happens to sneak out there. We do have labeling on there. Must if purchased online. There is no warranty, guys. You guys need to bring it to the homeowner with our whole goods in order for them to get any warranty.
So, yeah, guys, so that part right there for signing up for the warranty is huge. I was part of another warranty, but I had to go through an approval process before they gave me the ability to give the customers the 3-year warranty. So just the fact that a new pool guy can sign up and they automatically have it, that's huge to me.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, we have to be leveraging these things that the manufacturers are putting out there because they are huge and they can tip the scale in your favor when it comes to that sale and closing that deal. So, Dennis, I want to talk about one thing that I think is a biggie. Can you talk to us about the marketing dollars? Can you kind of go over some of the tiers, how much you get, and what you can apply it to?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Zach. So along with this program, our marketing dollars, kind of like the cash rebates, grow with your business. Our marketing dollars start at $250 and go up to $1,000, and that's uploaded annually. So every year, depends on where you fall in our achiever levels, is the amount of marketing dollars that you will have to invest back into your business. We'll do co-oping with you. We'll do as much as you want vehicle wraps, if you want to make little door hangers, if you guys want to do mailers, if you guys want to do apparel. We just launched kind of a new platform for you guys to upload and get apparel from us, where you get company shirts, jackets, hats, and things like that. So there's the sky is really the limit when it comes to marketing your web pages. When you go and you have your account with us and you go to your Fluidra Rewards account, and there it kind of guides you on what do you want to do. If you have something custom, you can click on our custom link and kind of explain what you're trying to do. We have a team back into our HQ that is right there and ready to assist, support you guys to spend your marketing dollars. We definitely encourage it, because we know if we help you guys become more professional, help you out with your business, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, and I can say, look, as far as like the logos, and I said this before on our other podcast, and I'm going to tell you, Dennis, we've always had our logos or our shirts done at a certain place, and for the first time, we actually submitted and we used some of our marketing dollars through Jandy's website. And I got to tell you, I thought our logo looked great, but when your team worked our logo and turned it into an embroidery, I didn't think it could get better. It was just beautiful. And I can't stress enough. I mean, this is something that you guys really need to take advantage of. You have an opportunity to work with some of the best in the business as far as design work, advertising, and marketing. So many new folks and even well-established companies lack in this department. Remember, We've preached this many times before. Perception is reality, and how you present yourself to the world, industry, and to your customers plays a big role in your success. Our goal is to lift everyone up so that you get paid for what you're worth. Knowledge is power, which leads to wealth, and a great image and message helps break that ice and gets your foot in the door. So don't be deceived into thinking just because you're a one polar or a small company that marketing isn't for you or it's too expensive. Jandy makes it very easy for you guys to take advantage of. And I think what Dennis was saying again, too, it's not like you just go there and it's something generic. You actually have professionals working on it, and they charge a very reasonable rate, and you get high quality work. And it's anything from business cards to vehicle wraps. Like Dennis said, vehicle wraps, that's great. You just go, you don't have to give them a design. You kind of tell them what you want, and they can make it work for you. And then they send it to you. You have to proof it. And then you go from there, and then you get your charge, or you can use your marketing dollars. And it works like that with all the products. So I highly suggest that you guys take advantage of it. Just join the Jandy rewards, if anything, just for that, so you can start elevating yourself and your company's image so that you can start demanding more because you're worth more. But I'm still waiting on those shirts. They approved it, Dennis, but I haven't gotten them yet. So I don't know. Maybe you can help me out with that.
They sent them to my address, John. I needed to proof them. Now, let me ask you this. So there is the marketing reward dollars, but that doesn't come out of your rebate percentage, right? So this is on top of whatever you earn from the percentage.
Absolutely, Edgar. It is addition to one of the benefits of being the program. We really strive on trying to be business partners, and we really want to help you guys grow your business in every way possible. That's what's really important to us.
That's crazy because you have to add that up. Zach, when we talk about, you were talking about 450, then you have to tack in this amount in the marketing. That's a freebie. And that's huge.
There's a lot of these perks and stuff that are on top of it. I mean, people tend to focus on the tiers or the rebates or whatever, which is a big part of it. But if you're able to successfully utilize all of your rewards, and if you were to look back on that, pencil it all out and see what that equates to, it's going to be huge. You've got the marketing, I don't know what to call it other than the counter cash, but the rebates, just all of that. The extended warranty is huge. So make sure when we look at these programs that you're utilizing all of it, and that's how you get the most out of it.
Yeah, and it's big. New pool guys out there, this is marketing dollars. So let's say that you do get, I don't know, whatever, and we'll make up a $250 that they give you in marketing. You can have them make some door hangers to try to sell your company. And as you're doing that pool and the neighbor has a pool, you just got that professionally done door hanger that you can go over and click over there. And guess what? It didn't cost you a penny. Yep. That's huge. That's huge. I mean, especially for the new guy trying to get in, these are just perks that are, piling on.
But the design fees, I mean, you're paying quality people, you're people that are experienced in doing this. So, I mean, everybody can go to Vista Print or can go here and go do that and kind of create their own thing and then buy it, right, for a certain price. But the designer's you pretty much, right, where you're actually taking it to a firm or to people that know what they're doing, that are graphic, they're artists, and this is their business. And the setup fees on a lot of these things that you're trying to do, like vehicle wraps, are very cheap. I mean, it's like bare bones, and they're worth like 4, 5, 6 times that if you were to go on your own and not go through Fluidra. So it's like you're getting the best of the best to do the work, regardless of how big you are. Even the small guy or gal can get the best in the business to design their marketing materials or their logo or their vehicle wraps. And Jandy gives you money on top of it. So it's pretty neat. We've used it on our wraps for on our trucks. We go, hey, look, we got our truck wrapped. And even if we didn't go through Jandy and I submit my invoice over to Jandy and boom, I get a check for my marketing dollars and go, okay, great.
Now, does it include some of the digital stuff too, or is it just kind of print and
everything? Digital
websites,
marketing? Yeah, you can apply anything regarded as marketing co-op. Absolutely.
That's amazing. That's just absolutely amazing. These are all just my brain just keeps going back to the new guy kind of starting in the industry. And that's part of their struggle, right? Is the digital, advertising or the marketing or the website. But these are all free dollars that they need to be taken advantage of and being able to use. And then the biggest thing is finding a professional that knows what they do, because you could go out and you can find a lot of people that'll tell you, hey, we'll put your website together, or we'll do this, or we'll do that. And they put something together, and then you look at it and you're like, don't like it.
Lit the money on fire.
Yeah. And then you spent all that money. So guys, this for you new guys out there, this is a huge one. And I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of scanning through the Jandy website right now, looking at those door hangers. Those are some legit designs on those right there. I'd probably just pick one of those and say, hey, just duplicate that one right there, because that looks good. So now on the apparel, John, how does it work on the apparel?
So the way it works with us is there's a shop with different types of shirts. And we're talking about quality shirts. We use the Nike Dry Fit or Under Armour. And when you go online, or you can go to the website, and then you can pick out shirts like a Nike Dry Fit shirt, polo for myself, long sleeve, short sleeve, women's, men's, jackets. And then what you do is you upload your logo to the website, and then you pick where you want to put it, whether it's on the left chest, right chest, what you want to put on your left arm or right sleeve, and then you send it off to the internet world or to Jandy world, and then they come back at you when they digitize your logo, and then they say, hey, look, this is what it's going to look like. This is what the threads and the colors, and then you approve it, and then they'll send you a proof of it. And then once you give final approval, or if you have adjustments that you need to make, and they're real quick. I mean, we sent it. We got a response back within a couple days with the work being completed. And then I asked for one revision because I wanted to change color, because I wanted to contrast a little bit better on the black shirt. And within a day, they came back to me. I approved it and I sent it out. And then now we're just waiting for it to get shipped out. It's pretty simple. And it gives you whatever you have in the bank. So let's say I'm throwing a figure out $100 in the bank, your marketing dollars. They'll say, okay, your total's $150 or $105. Do you want to apply your marketing dollars? Yes, of course you do. And then it goes, your balance is $5. How do you want to pay for it? And you can pay for it via PayPal, and then you just click on it and you pay the $5 balance or whatever it is above and beyond what your marketing dollar allowance is. And then you pay for it, and then you submit the order, and you do it that way.
You're right on the money, John.
Yeah.
you got us down good. And I got to stress, I mentioned I was with Coca-Cola for 18 years. Our company has some pretty cool apparel. I mean, that's top-notch quality shirts, jackets, and things that we order, that we have access, that we send out to you guys. So it's some cool stuff.
Guys, believe it or not, we've been talking for almost an hour, and I've been so dug into this thing right here that the one thing that we forgot to do is even throw a word out to our sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
That's how deep we've been into this, that we totally spaced it, and we've been talking for the whole hour.
Yeah.
So you know what, guys? Let's take a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, John, I know we talked a little bit about their DV2 pumps, and we're kind of eating a little bit not a little bit, we've eaten all of our time. I want to talk just briefly about them. And then maybe what we can do is have Dennis come back and really kind of talk about those pumps, because I'm going to go back to the new pool guy. I think those are huge for what we talked about, and we'll share it when we come back. So let's take a word, guys. When we come back, we will continue.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Introducing Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is pool billing software that was created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It was developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice was built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all of your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer's profile, and it's all at your fingertips. It's currently in beta phase, so anyone can use it for free. Just go to poolinvoice.com and request an invitation at the bottom of the page. Pool Invoice was made for you.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Pool Nation live podcast. We're talking to Dennis from Jandy. We're talking about rewards, a little bit of Pool Geek talk. So, John, we talked a little bit about those DV2 pumps, but I think we need to give those a lot of time. But maybe you or Dennis can talk really quick about the fact that you can hook up other equipment to it.
Yeah, I can go with that, Dennis, John, real fast.
Please do. But all I'm saying is don't go too much into detail right now because I really think this needs to be.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys might have to slow me down. I'm real excited about these pumps that we're bringing to the market. But no, just a real quick high level. We have 5 new DV2A motors drives out there. We have a 0.85, which is 115 volts. We have a 185 Flow Pro medium head pump. That's either dual voltage. We have a Flow Pro high head 2.7 horsepower. We have a PHP 2.7 high head pump. And then we also have our Stealth model is converting over to the DV2A motor. And guys, what the DV2A stands for is dual voltage, 2 auxiliaries. So we have 2 auxiliaries on the back of these pumps. So the auxiliaries can handle up to anything with 11 amps. And what it does is once the pump is running for 3 minutes, it will close the contacts and it will activate your item. So for instance, salt chlorinators, booster pumps for your pressure sides cleaner is a couple of examples that can work off of the pump standalone. These pumps are also, we have a dry contact where you can hook up to anybody's automation or an old RS system if you have some open relays without any controllers. So that's kind of a quick little high level, but these pumps, they can do quite a bit. They're ready to go, and they've been doing very well for us for this last year.
John, to me, those 2 aux ports is huge.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It really is. And it's a game changer. It just gives you more options, right? So, when you're there, you have more of an ability to be able to get somebody into something without having to, they can get a variable speed pump and they're able to get a salt system. They're able to run this and do that without having to spend all this extra money, you know what I mean, at that moment, but still now have the ability to have somewhat of automation and somewhat of more control with keeping costs down, and then the ability in the future to add on to it because those pumps are going to be compatible moving forward. I want to touch base on that. Dennis talked about that Flow Pro, and he kind of said the high head, the 2.7. That used to be a medium head pump, and that little pump kicks ass. It is the cutest little pump, but it seriously kicks butt, and it is super quiet, and we love using it. And the price point on it, you just can't beat, especially for, I put those in opposed to IntelliFlows or other pumps, just because of the size of it, the quietness of it, and then it's now able to control a pool spa. Or before, guys, when you have like a medium head pump, you can't really use that pump for like jets or if there's a spa attached to it and you don't have a separate. Now with this high head pump, you're able to actually control a spa and pool or be able to have an adequate amount of power. So those little Flow Pros are golden, man. I absolutely love them. And they look good too.
Here's what I love about it. And I go back to thinking about the new pool guy and kind of starting to get and look into some of these timers, and they open the box and there's all these wires and so you're new, you're kind of a little worried about doing all that. And now you have this pump that has those 2 aux right there. That's nice, clean, and easy to look at. And once you learn how to put that there, imagine how easier it is going to be for them to be able to install a salt system without having to worry about the whole wiring side. Or even going into a small automation or whatever, they can completely set this thing up, and it's a faster learning curve for that new pool guy.
Oh, for sure.
That to me is huge.
Yep, absolutely.
So, guys, I don't want to get into more detail on these because if we do, we will spill all the beans, and I don't want to do that. I want to also get Dennis to come back on our podcast and talk about some of the Jandy equipment. So, Zach, can I get your final thoughts?
Yeah, so I think everyone should take advantage of the rewards programs. They're there to help your business. We've heard about all the additional perks, and there's many different ways to use your rewards. And to give you all an example, we have our company Christmas dinner next weekend. And with all of our team and their plus ones, we'll have over 15 people at the dinner. And having that bill in the middle of winter is no fun. But this year, we're not worried about it because we are using our Jandy's rewards to pay for the dinner. So, Dennis, thank you. Thank you, Jandy, for our Christmas dinner.
It's true, right?
Yeah.
And Zach, that's funny. Zach, that's funny you say that because I've gotten pictures from customers on vacation going, thanks.
Yeah.
Rebates well spent.
Yeah,
awesome.
Exactly. And that's one example of how the rewards programs can benefit you. So, just make sure you reach out to your rep and see what you can get set up on the rewards program.
And the rep reach out to Zach. All right, Dennis.
Zach, yeah, I was waiting for the very end going, Zach, I have not forgot. I will be calling you shortly. Our digital world, I can just send you a link to sign up remotely now.
John, I know that you're a big Jandy guy, but give us your final thoughts.
You've heard enough of me. I'm just trying to be real here. And this is, I'm a very loyal guy. And we talked about this, my story, when we first started. Telling you, the first week I threw my website up, the first week I started accepting phone calls, I got a phone call from Jandy. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, how did they get my number? And it was them just asking, hey, you know what I mean? What are you doing? Can we go out to lunch and talk? And from that point, we built a relationship. And it's just like, I just can't help but, talk about the things that matter to me and the experiences I've had. And that's all I can actually try to express. Or the other manufacturers, sometimes, when you need help and you make enough noise, you'll end up getting the help that you need from them. But I didn't have that same experience. And I just hope that everybody out there, and we kind of talked about this before, and I kind of just want to plant the seed again with Dennis and saying, look, even Jandy needs to work on this too, because we're seeing on the messages here saying my Jandy rep isn't calling me or I'm not getting a phone call back. We have to get better and find a way when maybe we can come up with a list of, we talked about this before, Edgar, we get a list of some of the Jandy reps in Southern California and some of the states and stuff like that so that we can post that on Poolman University so that we can get the names and numbers. So when people sign up or people are logged in, they have that information so that they can know who to contact. And then we can put their foot to the fire. If they're not answering, they're not answering. And then somebody needs to know that rep isn't doing a good job. Because I'm sure Fluidra wants to know that, and I'm sure Pentair wants to know that, and I'm sure Hayward wants to know that. Because again, you're only as good as the people that work for you. And as far as my personal experience, I think Zodiac, Fluidra, Jandy has just been top notch, and we look forward to doing some more business with them. And I cannot wait, Dennis. I want you to commit that you're going to come back on so that we can talk a little bit more about these pumps, because I think they deserve a lot more time so people can understand what they can do for some of the guys and gals out there.
Yeah, absolutely, John.
Hey guys, let's take one more quick word from our sponsors. And Dennis, when I come back, I want to ask you how the guys can connect to register for this loyalty program.
Perfect.
The sound of you continually pitching pool care poles into the trash. The sound of you using an Ultimate Pool Tools carbon fiber pool care pole for years to come. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at ultimatepooltools.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're talking to Dennis Cecil from Jandy. We're talking rewards, and I want to now, Dennis, ask you about how guys can sign up. So Dennis, easiest way for anybody that's listening to this podcast, drop and go sign up for the loyalty program.
I want to stress, get a hold of your local rep, try to reach out to get their number, go to try distribution, try tech support. They have all our information. They'll send us emails. Go to our website. Pretty simple. I kind of like the idea of maybe getting you guys a list or seeing if I can get you guys a list of reps throughout the U.S. so you can kind of have the local guy in there. So, but yeah, check with distribution, call tech support.
Sounds great. Guys, for me, it's a no-brainer. You sign up, you're going to get the perks. You're going to get that special phone number that you can't get, those 4 digits that you can't get. Too bad he didn't share them here because we'd plaster them everywhere, right, John?
Oh, yeah. Right.
I'm kidding, Dennis. We wouldn't do that to you. But you get the extended warranty on the parts that you're able to push. You get the rewards for the marketing, which is just extra free money. Really a no-brainer. It's just absolute no-brainer. I mean, you have to just drop this podcast, go sign up for that rewards program. So guys, I want to thank everybody for their time. Zach, John, as usual, thank you for your time. Dennis, thank you for being on the podcast. And until next week.
Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Central, and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com or Instagram at pool.nation.